Daytona International Speedway, where the fans are coming together to take in the first nationwide series race of the year. You know, sports are great, not because of the competition, that's great too, but because of how it brings us together. Together in our passion or dislike for one team or one driver, or together to watch. For Mitch Zanetti, it was how Daytona brought his friends and family together that made this race the ultimate bucket list.
There ain't no grave can hold my buddy down. There ain't no grave can hold my buddy down. When I hear that trumpet sound, I'm gonna rise right out of the ground. Ain't no grave can hold my buddy down.
Not dying you should be afraid of, but living in fear. Mitch Zanetti had no such problem. For him, life was all about going full throttle, all the time.
He wasn't afraid of anything. Like, he would always just pursue whatever he wanted to do.
Balls to the wall, plain and simple. He just wanted to live it to the fullest.
Growing up in Penn Argyl, Pennsylvania, near the Poconos, working as a volunteer fireman, Mitch moved from job to job, and he had his share of scrapes with the law. Through all the ups, downs, and detours, he loved our sport of NASCAR.
NASCAR meant a lot of partying. He always had his 30-pack of Budweiser, and he always had a good time.
He loved NASCAR. He didn't miss a race. I mean, he did not miss a race.
Mitch's favorite driver was my daddy, Dale Earnhardt.
There wasn't a race that Dale was in that he didn't think he could win. And that's the way it was, you know. He thought he could win everything.
But even race car drivers are not invincible. No one is. And at age 48, Mitch ignored some very clear warning signs of trouble ahead.
He had these lumps on his neck. We noticed them, and we told him, hey, go check it out. You know, it could be something serious. He finally went, and that's when we found out that he had lymph node cancer.
He said it wasn't too bad. He says it's stage 4 cancer. And I said to him, stage 4, I don't know how many stages there is, but 4 seems like it's kind of high. Mitch's reaction was no big deal. I can beat this.
He went downhill pretty quick. Took him from probably 210 pounds down to about 90.
15 months after he was diagnosed with Mitch living in hospice, it was no longer a question of if, but only of when the cancer would win.
Nurse asked what his goal was. He said to get out of here. And he did.
He didn't want to die alone. He wanted to die by his friends. And he had a bucket list that he wanted to complete.
The one thing I thought he could check off was the Daytona 500. He wanted to go down for Speed Week.
That was his life goal, basically, was to make Daytona.
Speed Week at Daytona, Mitch Zanetti's dying wish. With 10 days worth of pain meds, a few best friends, and a lifetime of NASCAR memories, he set out in an RV to make that wish come true. On Friday morning, February 15th, 2013, Mitch and company drove onto the infield of Daytona.
Just to see the thrill on his face. That's what he wanted. He was happy about that. He was yelling, we made it.
We're here, brother, we're here. It was just like a dream come true for him. He's like, I made it.
He was where he wanted to be. But the 500 was 9 days away, and there was no guarantee that heaven would wait for Mitch.
When we first got there, he looked at me and said, "This is the last time I'm shaving." But I figured then it was done. He already knew he wasn't coming back home.
On Wednesday, February 20th, 4 days before the race, Mitch was still in bed at dinner time. His friends got him up and took him to the hospital.
The doctor said, you got three choices. He can stay here and die, we can transfer him to hospice and die, or you can put him in a motorhome and take him back to the track.
So I'm not leaving him here. He didn't come down here to die in a hospital. He wanted to die at Daytona track. And he's gonna die, so we took him back to the track.
And I kept telling him that we understood that there would be no more pain. I didn't want him to feel that he would have to lay there and suffer. I could tell he wasn't breathing. And then we just said a little prayer, all of us together.
Mitch Zanetti died at age 50 on the infield at Daytona. Racing is a sport, but it's also a metaphor for life and the way you choose to live it. In fear, or full speed ahead.
He wanted to go out when he was ready. He didn't make it to the 500, but I think he did what he wanted to do.
He wanted us to go there. He wanted us to see Daytona, have the time of our lives, and we did it for him.
There's a darkness upon me that's flooded in light, and I'm frightened by those who don't see it.